Okay, so you guys know how I'm always coming up on this app talking about men, and everyone's always like, who hurt you? Who hurt you? A man, Avi. My last relationship made me see like men for who they are, and like not this Sleeping Beauty, like Cinderella fantasy that women are fed growing up. So whatever, long story short, I'm in the healing process. And as a result, I am not seeing men. I'm not dating men. I'm not sleeping with men. Men are not in my life. You can imagine this is difficult because women have needs. And that's where Balesa comes into play. Not this being a sponsored pub. No, but seriously, Balesa reached out to me because they're doing a giveaway. And it's like, I have this link in my bio. You go, you sign up, and either they're gonna give you adult massagers or you're gonna get a gift card for adult massagers. So you're welcome. You don't need men in your life. Cut them out. Sign up with the link in my bio.
I don't believe I heard you correctly.
Fam, I have heard some apparent sales pitches before, but this one hit a home run on its own. That's right, these strong and independent queens don't need no man because the link she's talking about is gonna get you a adult massager. Seriously. And it's women who usually claim men base everything on intimacy. I wonder if the adult massager is gonna fix her car, do the heavy lifting, pay the bulk of the bills, and tangle with the home intruders. This is no shade on women who obviously have needs, but telling other women they don't need a man for anything because of a one-handed device that requires AA batteries does sound a tad bit ludicrous. Ladies, let me fill you in on a little secret. It's nothing new to hear another woman on the internet say women don't need men. But the reality is, not just do women need men, men are necessary for society to function. Men built the safeties you currently enjoy, and they are direly needed to maintain those safeties. Sure, go ahead. Get your rocks off with a vibrating toy all you want, but don't think it's gonna maintain society for you. Moving on.
Historically, women needed men because that's how the oppression structure was set up. We were hostages. We couldn't have credit cards, couldn't own property, couldn't vote, had no voice. Well, of course we'd partner up with a man because we needed one so that we didn't starve to death because men used force to keep us under their thumb. Now, fortunately, things have evolved, and guess what? We don't need men. So if it comes to being in a relationship, it's a matter of bringing something to the table. And if what you're bringing to the table is a toddler-like mentality where you are running around, running amok, expecting a mommy and expecting some kind of subordinate, concubine kind of setup, no woman wants that. So of course you see so many men who are single because they've never realized that they need to actually be tolerable individuals. And as a result, they are single because nobody wants you. So of course, just like a job, if you want to actually do well and actually have the opportunity to have that, you need to develop the skills to be in a relationship.
Historically, this woman is being delusional with her statement of women being hostages. I'm gonna let her in on a little secret. Since the beginning of time, nature has been survival of the fittest. Men didn't start off saying, I'm gonna force my wife into servitude. No, fam. Men defended their wives and families from predators, both human and non-human. They built homes to shelter their families and took on the most dangerous jobs, even till this day, to assure the survival of their family. Men used force to keep you queens alive. This queen's arrogance of disregarding the thousands of years of men's sacrifice for their families to equate it all to serfdom because of an unaccepted credit card application is nauseating. Ladies, let me put it this way. What this queen and all others like her are doing is the equivalent of a woman berating a fireman after he saved her from a burning building because he bossed her around on the way out of danger. Sure, you don't need a man anymore until the power goes out and all the men tell you boss babes to maintain the power grid. The one who's acting like a child here is this queen displaying her mental diarrhea to the world. What type of man wants to wipe that up? Moving on.
If you do not have enough self-respect to get up and leave in any relationship or talking stage with a partner who's not giving you what you need, then you're not ready for a relationship, period. I think one of the hottest traits somebody could have is being independent and knowing their self-worth and what they deserve. So the second you address these issues to your partner and they're still not meeting you at your needs, your best bet is to leave. You're literally only holding yourself back from somebody else who would actually give you everything and more that you want. So if someone is not even meeting you at your bare minimum needs, why are you staying? If you're happy and independent on your own, you are perfectly capable of providing your own needs. So having a partner to me is almost like having another added benefit of fulfilling my own needs, right? Because I already give myself self-love and happiness and worth, so another person is just gonna show me a different level of love that I can't give myself. But I don't necessarily need them, right? They're just an added benefit. I'm getting more of what I want, but I don't need it because I give enough self-love to myself and I know exactly what I want and I don't need another person to give that to me.
This queen said, "One of the hardest traits somebody can have is being independent and knowing their self-worth and what they deserve." Firstly, their queen, that would be something women find attractive in men. Rarely do men find that attractive in women, if ever. Secondly, being independent is nothing more than just being an adult. How that translates into any kind of attraction from men to women is beyond me. Another thing is, after claiming to being independent, she followed up with, "You're only holding yourself back from somebody else who would give you everything and more that you want." Fam, didn't she just say be independent? Why would an independent person need someone to give them anything? Bare minimum needs. There we go again. Those magic words women use but never clearly define them. Amazing how women will claim they don't need men because they have self-love. Does that self-love pay the bills?
I feel like I have such a better relationship now with just like the concept of dating because I understand that like I don't really need anybody else to like fulfill my own goals and dreams. Like I guess back then, men wanted women because they wanted, somebody to stay at home, cook, clean, take care of the kids, whatever, while they were at work. And women obviously wanted men because they wanted the stability. They wanted to have somebody that they knew could provide for them and their family. But obviously with society now, I'm like, you don't really need a partner to do anything you want to accomplish. Women don't need men in order to make money to provide for themselves or take care of themselves, buy a house, have kids, whatever. Nor do men really need a woman to cook and clean for them, right? Like if a guy makes enough money, he can, pay somebody else off to do that. I also just keep seeing the videos of why women are staying single because men don't even know how to wipe their ass.
Sure, men don't know how to wipe their butts, and women don't need men for anything. Ladies, you got this. Go out there and slay queens. Flat tire? Don't need no man. Toilet broke? Who needs a man for that? Intruder in the house? You go out there and face him with that womanism empowerment. You got this, queen. If you want to have a kid, who needs a man? Even though you need a man's sperm. Ladies, have any of you seen what happens when a group of women are dropped off on an island and left to fend for themselves? It's not a pretty picture. You are only as independent as the infrastructure allows you to be. Once it fails, you're gonna be asking, where the good men at?
But it's just like, women just are staying single because they don't necessarily need a man to do anything they want to do with their life. I feel like when you start looking at dating and marriage is not so much of a necessity in order to like kickstart everything else you want to do with your life, but rather just like an added bonus and enjoying your life and living it to your fullest, then you're never really going to take it so seriously if something doesn't work out with a partner. Because if things didn't work out with them, it's probably like, okay, well, they're probably not my added benefit I'm supposed to have somebody else. Their benefits are most likely going to be way more than what this person was giving me. Of course, I made this way more deep and conceptual than I really needed to, but like, just think about that for a second. Like, isn't that kind of weird? Like, you don't really need to ever have a boyfriend. You don't ever need to have a husband or a wife. If someone's not giving you what you want or what you need, you really don't need them anyway because you already give that to yourself. And most likely it's because somebody else is going to give you even more.
This is without a doubt coming from a young woman who has years before the wall. I will put this in ignorance of youth category. I am sure many experienced ladies out there have learned the hard way that a career over family is not empowerment. It's a fairy tale powered by pixie dust. To think a job that can fire you on the spot should have a higher priority over starting a family is nothing more than a lie you tell yourself to justify the choices that led you there. Moving on.
Women feel like we don't need men anymore because we don't need men. Our grandmothers acted like they needed men because they did. Women couldn't get credit cards until 1974. The liberation of women is new. Our grandmothers acted like they needed our grandfathers because they did. Our mothers acted like they needed our fathers because they learned that from their mothers, but quickly started to unlearn that. This generation of women watched our mothers get mistreated by our fathers and then leave once realizing, I don't need him. Which is why we're not making the same mistakes our mothers did. Because we don't have to. We don't have to be mistreated to survive anymore. So yes, women feel like we don't need men anymore, because we don't. No, I will not be acting like my grandmother and allowing a man to walk all over me, mistreat me, and abuse me, because I don't need to do that to survive. And also, I will attract a man like my grandfather. He was a good man, and he knew my grandmother didn't need him, so he treated her with respect to keep her.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Fam, not one thing this queen said at any point addressed or countered the comment she is responding to. It reads, women feel like they don't need a man until they do. This queen just went on an entire spiel of how men abuse women, as if that were proven to be historically the bulk of all relationships, which, shockingly, it's not, and never has been. In fact, a publishing in Indiana Law by Carolyn B. Ramsey, link in the description, states that husbands in both the American West and Australia were routinely arrested or summoned to court for their wives in the late 1800s and early 1900s. Judges, police officers, journalists, and others expressed dismay over domestic. On top of that, a 2016 publication on law.com, link in the description, stated that studies of married couples shows results in being initiated 25% by male, 25% by female, the other 50% mutually. In short, the studies are clear that the big bad men are always the ever so innocent women. Isn't that watertight? But hey, what do I know? I'm just a gorilla. I'm just saying. If you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.